Check this out. When most people are welding, what they are focused on is not dipping. When they start to weld, they lock on and give the tungsten a death stare. They're trying so hard to do everything they can to keep that poor tungsten out of the puddle. And then inevitably, blam, bleh, yuck. Even after all that focus to make sure it didn't happen, it still happened, hey? Now, anybody out there watching right now, do you mountain bike when you're just getting going, learning how to ride trails? What do they teach you when you're trying to split the gap in between two trees? Do not focus on the trees. You wanna look and you wanna focus on exactly where you want to go. This is the exact same thing with what we're doing here. What we're gonna do is we're gonna focus our eyes and we're gonna look here instead. See right at the leading edge of the puddle right here? You wanna focus your eyes right here. It gives you something solid to watch, so it'll give you an easier time of keeping your hand steady. It helps a lot to focus on this spot here. Take all the time to set up your TIG machine and your torch perfectly. You run a pass and see some crazy stuff at the start like this? Yuck. I may know what part of the problem is here. Are you flooring the foot pedal right away? Now, what happens when we jump on the foot pedal too fast? When our arc initiates, our arc is already at 100% of the amperage we have programmed on our machine. So this is causing an instability with the tungsten electrode. The tungsten is going to become unstable and pieces of this tungsten are going to be ejected into your workpiece and the weld itself. Arc on slowly and just let the puddle establish nice and smooth. After the puddle has established, you can now dig into the heat as much as you want. Arcing on at a lower amperage with the foot pedal is going to allow this arc to establish a lot easier, and now we can get into the real heat because our puddle has been established properly. No initial shock to the tungsten, we have no little bits of that splattered here and there, and that electrode we took the time and care to prepare properly is going to last much longer. All right, probably the most important setting on your TIG welding machine, and this setting is post-flow. Now, if we are TIG welding aluminum, it is extremely important that we post-flow and shield the tungsten. If our glowing red hot tungsten has its gas supply cut short, severe oxide forms immediately. Gross, look at that. When you have a contaminated tungsten like this, you go to start your next pass, boom! All of this oxide is blown into your welding area immediately, and you have now introduced severe contamination into your next pass. Once again, your timer on the machine has to be set for a long enough duration to properly shield this electrode. Like I said, an extra second or two after your tungsten is finished glowing red hot. When done properly, we should always see this tungsten looking shiny. Sometimes you may see a little bit of color to it, that's all right. That is a light form of oxide that is formed. However, when it's a little bit of color, it's not a huge deal, we can deal with that. But ideally, we want things to be super shiny like this here. This is Lemon Pledge Dust Spray. I stand by this as being the best lens cleaner that you can use. It fills in little scratches, it actually repairs stuff to almost being brand new if it isn't damaged too bad. If you use this stuff and you spray it on, really rub it in a couple times, you are gonna notice this makes a big difference with how clean your stuff comes up. You can use it on your welding lens like this here. I have this eye protection from Heatwave Apparel. You can spray it on these things as well, and they are good as new after you do it. And the best thing about this stuff, when you start welding, it smells incredible. So not only is this gonna clean your lens up real nice, but you're gonna smell like a bunch of lemons as well. We can see that my hand is now anchored to the table. I may be comfortable here, but as I start to travel, I only have a couple of inches where I can comfortably move. At this point where I become uncomfortable, my hand may begin to shake or whatever, or I will be forced to slide my hand. Personally, I hate sliding my hand. Even after over 20 years of production TIG welding and all the schooling I could get for it, no matter how much I get set up to slide my hand along something, my hand always gets caught on something stupid. Or I may run into a little bump or something, my hand becomes a little bit shaky or unstable. I do not want that. So here's what I teach my students instead. We're gonna move the workpiece a little further from the edge of the table a little bit. And what we are gonna do is we're gonna position with about mid-forearm, making contact with the edge of the table instead of our hand. Now that you can see, as I am pivoting on this spot instead of my hand here, this spot here allows me much more range of comfort. So as I'm traveling, I'm gonna be able to see much more clearly and maintain comfort.